Okay, so first of all, Ryusuke, let me say hello to you over
Hi,
here.
how are you doing? Nice to see you again.
Pretty good. I'm very happy to be here.
Welcome to Yokohama.
We were planning to go out to Tokyo Bay for fishing.
Yes.
And we changed the program because nature is the boss.
Unfortunately, this weather, rain and wind,
That's
nothing.
it.
I cannot do nothing for that.
But we have the greatest opportunity to visit Joshua Shop, which
Exactly.
I understand that it's quite a famous network
Yes,
here in Japan.
one of the biggest chain store in Japan.
Okay, so what we are going to see how a Japanese tackle shop looks. So let's go in and take a look.
Go. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. Wow, it's amazing. It's not a really big one. So as I know, you were living in France, and in France you used to have quite big shops. That
Yes.
should be something about 150 square meter.
Yeah.
How about the shop sizes in Japan?
This size is intermediate size, but this shop is very next to the coast, salt
Okay.
water. So they have a lot of material for, especially for salt water, not much for the fresh water. That's why it's a mid-size shop.
So how about the reel range? It's quite normal that in Japan we expected to see a lot of Shimano and Daiwa reels.
Yes, we have a lot of Shimano, mainly Shimano Daiwa, and we have also Ab Garcia from foreign country. As you see, I think 3 companies are basic, most popular.
They are carrying
market.
the big slice of the market. That I may say it happens in Europe too. So that's about the reel, but it's very strange. They have for saltwater, they are selling this kind of this size of reels. Do they use it for live bait, or how do they use those?
But those things I think they are using for the from the beach, the casting,
surf casting, right?
casting, and also carp fishing. Maybe I think this is for carp fishing. I think, but they use for the carp fishing as well.
Okay, I know you are professional in spinning, so we are going to spend more time at the spinning area.
Yeah.
But let's go first. After we saw the reels over here, I see a long line.
So
of
this side
rods.
is like a cheaper, affordable price range of spinning, and this side is expensive, high-end reels.
Okay, and is that the reason why they keep it in a locker?
They try to
just see that
just
it's
for in case of problem of stealing.
that we know. Usually in Europe they just keep it behind
the
them.
cashier.
Yeah, behind the cashier. But here is all self-service, so that's the way.
So we just ask the shop person to show it, and they will open, and they will open for you, and you can try it.
Okay, so that's not going to happen with the rods. I see all the rods are over here. So which kind of, some surf casting rods? And
Surf casting, this is like entry model.
Okay.
So that's why it's a telescopic. For usually telescopic rods are popular for the entry model.
That's right. Okay. Then
Since always, I think.
Yeah. I think there always a lot of telescopic rods around Europe as well. And wow, it's really special that I saw in Japan, all the rods are packed in this way for more nice looking and being more protective.
Yes, this package is quite important for Japanese market.
What's happening with the package after they buy it? Do they keep it and they store
Some
it in?
people, they keep it and they keep it in the box after the fishing. And some people, of course, people throw out the packaging. But there's the 2 possibilities.
Okay, so after surf casting, I think we are arriving more to the area which is more familiar to you.
This is like a boat fishing, like a tenya, and also the jigging, saltwater.
Okay. So just tell me when we arrive to those roads which you are using the most, and what is the method you prefer. And let me tell to our audience that you lived for more than 30 years in France.
I am more like predator fisherman, so I am more using like here like a shore jigging, sea bass rod. These kind of rods are more like for my style. But these are 8 feet 6, 9.6 feet. They are mainly used for street fishing or wading fishing.
Okay.
And I personally fish usually for the boat, so I'm using a little bit shorter rod, like 7 feet, 7.5 feet rod.
Okay, so we arrived to the lures, but I think the boxes and the cool boxes are really popular here, which
Yes.
is not really often used in Europe. Can you tell me about these products a little bit more?
Since Japan is very compact,
Okay.
and there's also the car are compact, and some people are going fishing by train or underground, so we have to make it everything organized. Just not like we can put everything in the car. We have to be ready to be as compact as possible. So we have these kind of things, and also we have a rental boat or a party boat. Maybe party boat like for the salt water. In a big boat, you have maybe 20 people together.
Okay.
Not necessary to know each other, yeah? Just a one-day things. And they need to sit. So they want to have a chair as well. So these boxes are using for tackle box. At the same time, you can sit as a chair.
But what's really
And
interesting in our country, they are looking for a chair to carry up to 130 kilo and to be strong, but here is not the case.
Exactly.
We were speaking about tackle boxes, so I see a really wide variety for the tackle boxes in Japan.
Basically, we use this kind of small box for organizing such a small terminal tackles or lures in different sizes. Then we're gonna put in those big box.
Okay.
We like organize.
I know, and you don't waste the space, and you want to use it the best.
It's same thing as in our life in living for apartment or house. Our house and apartment are such a small, so we have to be well organized. Otherwise, we can't live with many.
That's definitely true. I know
together.
from our hotel, the size of the room, it's amazing, but everything is well organized. So, can we step in here and stop for a second to... That's a brand where I personally know that you participated on creating it.
Yes.
And when we first met, this brand was starting to enter the market. Can you step in and tell me the Babyface story and your story as a professional angler in France?
So this Babyface is I am producing the product, and since I was living in Europe, in France, for more than 30 years, and fishing over there as a professional competitor and etc. and traveling fisherman. Once when I was living there, we see a lot of Japanese lure, but most of the Japanese lures are made for black bass fishing. And I felt very sorry for that, for the people who buys those lures, because they are meant to made for black bass fishing. But in Europe, the black bass population is such a small.
Yeah, we have much more zander, and we have...
Exactly, we have zander, perch, and the pike, and sometimes silu. So I said, if we're gonna make a brand, Japanese brand, and sell it, make it selling in Europe, I want to make it for them, for their fish. So Babyface, we started mainly for Europe and South Asia and also South America. We have no target fish. We just say, please use it at your area if it is suitable.
And it is suitable because I know that you didn't intend to distribute it in Japan, and it's getting more and more popular in Japan too.
Yes, during the COVID, since I couldn't go to Europe for a visit, we had some demand from Japan that thanks to the SNS, Instagram, Facebook, and the internet, some of the Japanese people and shops started contact us. Are you guys it seems like a Japanese brand, but it seems I'm not sure if you speak Japanese or not. And they are asking us, are we able to buy it in Japan? In the beginning, I said no, it is only for foreign country. But during the COVID, since we couldn't go out, and we said, if there's a demand, why not?
That's how it started over here in Japan. The interesting story, and I think I'm working in fishing tackle industry for almost 30 years, but it was the first time that I learned a good lesson from you. And these are the seminars you are keeping for the sales staff of different shops.
Exactly.
And in fact, you as a professional photographer
Yes.
make picture with them, then they are presented in the tackle shop. So people can easily ask, they recognize the staff of this shop.
Exactly.
So they bring this picture right near to the product.
Yeah.
It is a good opportunity. Can we tell a few words about these seminars?
Well, for here, the Joshuya have a center, headquarters of Joshuya. I contact them, and they decide person who is suitable for selling our product, especially here in Tokyo, it's for sea bass. So sea bass specialized person for each shop of the Joshuya has been called by the headquarters. And I have 2-3 days of fishing seminar day booked with my partner of guide service boat with the captain. So we make in the morning session and afternoon session.
And how many people you go with your captain
It's a small boat, small bay boat in the Tokyo Bay. So basically 4 person from the Joshuya for each different shop who is involving in the saltwater lure section. And they come, 4 person and guide, driver of the boat, and me, myself. So it's like 6 person in each session.
And they catch the fish with the lures you developed, and they are happy with that?
Exactly. So at first, since I also respect them because they are specialists for the fishing. So at first, I will let them do what they want to do. But if there's something I can explain, or I can tell them how to use it in different way or some other way, I will tell them to how we can arrange a different way of fishing. And then I wish they will catch more fish.
They will get more confidence for the product.
The confidence for the product is most important thing. Because the shopkeeper here, person are having so many options of lure to sell to the customers. But of course, if you know the lure, how do we swim, and how you have a result of catching fish, he has much more chance.
Makes things really, really different. Okay, that's amazing. Thank you very much. So let's take a look to the metal lures over here. And there is quite a wide range of metal lures. And I understood that we were planning for our today fishing to use some of the lures which are available here.
Exactly.
Can you tell a few words about those?
This area is basically for area trout fishing. So we have a lot of small, tiny metal spoons. But here we have a section of a special long jig type spoon, which is very interesting. We can use for the vertical fishing. So since Danielle,
were you using that in Europe for vertical fishing?
As you know that I had experience living in Europe, so I personally fish this kind of metal thing for vertical, for boat, of course, boat fishing. For perch, they love these kind of things. Once we found the cloud of perch with a fish finder, I just stay there and then just drop the lures and then just jigging. They become crazy, and I catch one by one, and I keep it in a live bait, the boat, live box.
Okay, and what's the size range you can use for these lures, and what?
That depends on how depth you want to fish. Also, the situation of the wind. If there's not much wind, of course, its lighter lure is much more effective for the movement. So I try to go as light as possible. But the important thing is the lure have to reach where the fish are.
That's a very important advice. So
it depends. It's like it's from 5 gram to 20 gram. Usually, in general, from distance of the depth of 5 meter to 20 meter.
It's amazing. In today's experience, we are in a tackle shop for filming, and we were intending to go out for Tokyo Bay. But the positive thing is that we are planning to return here because I cannot miss one day fishing.
Welcome next time, huh?
Okay, for next October, let's see if it happens. But tell me a little bit about other methods. I saw right at the entrance that they are selling live bait too.
Yes. As I told you, this shop is specialized for saltwater. Of course, for saltwater fishing, it's not only for lure fishing. Also, the people do live bait or bait fishing.
Okay.
So this shop is open from 10 o'clock, and they can buy different kind of worms for fishing.
Okay, so they buy this worm. I don't know if we disturb the gentleman over here, but can you ask how these worms are coming and how they are packed and how they can sell it to the people?
ちょっと質問していいですか？
何でしょう。
ここに売ってるゴカイとかっていうのは、どのようなに売っていくんですか？1匹ずつ売っていくんですか？それともグラムで売っていくんですか？
測って、だいたい60グラムでワンパック。
これは they will scale with this. They have a line.
That's the measurement.
Okay. And they will put it, and the water will get out from because they have a hole.
That's fine. Okay.
And then they will put in a plastic container.
Okay.
And then
can we take a look to the worms he's selling
ちょっと
over
見せてもら
here?
っていいですか？
はいですよ。
ありがとうございます。
It's very interesting for we sell, the
Wow, such an ugly thing for me, but
yeah, it's ugly thing for you. And I only know the Italian name of this. But I will not remember now. But this is really popular for each kind of sea fishing.
yeah, it's called isome in Japan.
Isome in Japan.
To be honest with you, I cannot touch it.
Yeah, okay. I feel you as a lure fisherman.
Yeah.
It's very
That's
far
why I'm
from...
doing a lure fishing.
Okay.
もうすぐそこ釣り場だから。
He told me that the fishing spot is right next to here, so many people come here before they go fishing. They purchase the worms here and directly.
And can you tell a few words about these baits?
These are
used?
fake baits.
Okay, those are...
Somebody like me who cannot touch the real bait, they can use a fake
You
bait.
prefer an imitation.
Like this is a fake worm. 売れるんですか？
ありがとう。
They said they will sell also. I mean, people who doesn't want to touch those kind of live bait.
That it's pretty familiar. How about this box? Do they sell the freezed bait?
これは何なんですか？ここは。
これです。
It's the same thing here.
Okay, so that's more visible.
The shrimps. For the boat fishing, they put in a net.
Okay.
And they have hooks in the bottom with a feather, and then they put those called okiami. It's a small shrimps, basically frozen. They frozen tiny shrimps. You put in a net, and once in the salt water with the temperature of
of course, and then they will collect. I feel somehow that it's still not very close to you personally as a lure fisherman. So let's step back a little bit to the lure area, and we can stop at the hooks. And I'm trying to look for some treble hooks and single hooks.
It's more over there, I think. Lures.
Okay. We have some jig hooks over here. I think here is an area of some treble hooks.
Treble hooks. And
so And my question would be, a lot of people in Europe, when they buy a lure, the first step they do, they change the hook on it. Do you have this experience in Japan, or they believe that the lure is containing the proper hook for it?
That depends on, of course, on person, and also depends on the freshwater and saltwater.
Okay.
As my experience in Japan, the freshwater people, they try to keep the original hook from the box,
Okay.
from the lures. But saltwater people, they have a tendency to like their personal fetish items.
What they believe the most.
Exactly. And depends
Okay.
on the target fish, they want to choose different thickness of
And different strengths
yeah.
with that. Okay, that's pretty similar like in Europe. Many things are different and many things are just similar. Here we are. It's a brand new shop which
Yes.
is just opened a couple of years ago.
Yes, exactly. It's a name called the BunBun.
BunBun.
It is also the chain store in Japan, and this is pretty big one.
It's a huge one. Let's step in and see if they have some nice soft lures, and
Yeah.
we can talk about
So
those.
this shop has also a freshwater as well as saltwater, so it's very interesting.
So, and they have, now we are in Yokohama, but they have stores in different cities
Different cities, I think all over Japan.
all over Japan. Okay,
And they are specialized more in the west side.
okay, and I see they have also outdoor products. So if
Yeah.
we step for the soft lures, I think we go this way. Wow, crazy, a lot of soft lure over here.
Number 9, number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 is all black bass soft lure section.
Crazy. Which one is the soft lure you think would fit our waters in Europe? And tell a few words. Why do you think so?
Okay.
Here we are
Here
at
we
the
are.
Rains range.
Yeah, this orange package, it's pretty popular here in Japan, and pretty reasonable price, and quite many different kind of sizes wise and model wise. They have a variety of selections. Here is basically for black bass, so you see a lot of straight worm style.
And how about the softness of this soft lure? Do you think it will fit our waters across Europe?
Yes, absolutely. They even have a saint inside.
Really?
Yes, and also the material of plastic is a pretty good density of plastic, and it's not so hard plastic. It's very soft, and texture is very nice. Even as a fisherman, when we touch the soft lures,
You
this
become
looks
friends
so
immediately.
plastic.
Okay.
And sometimes plastic is not feeling good, and sometimes like nice Haribo gummy
Yeah.
style,
Yeah, it's sweet like Haribo, and hopefully that's the same what our fish can feel when you hook it up. Which kind of jig heads you recommend for the lanes?
Here, the Lanes company, they also have a weight like this. The Lanes company has this kind of things, weight from Lanes, and these insert tungsten weight you can stick into the straight
I think
worm.
that's something which we are definitely not using so far in Europe.
So you
So
can
are
change
you-
the sinking speed.
Okay.
Maybe it's better to be as natural as possible, but sometimes because of wind or current, the lure have a tendency to coming up to trying to keep in the depth you want. We need this kind of
Does it also help you
inside.
for casting for longer distance, or is
Of
not
course,
necessary?
of course.
Okay.
Like people like skipping, you know. If you put these things, it's so easy to do
Yeah,
skipping.
it
So
makes the things easier, even in windy conditions.
yeah,
So, okay, and here what we can see that they mostly have the range for the black
black
bass.
bass. And then they told me that they have a series of rockfish, Japanese rockfish lures, but these are able to use for the French, European perch.
Okay.
Mainly, this blue package is saltwater range, 4 lanes brand in Japan. But in Europe market, many of people use for freshwater as well. I mean, we don't decide it. I mean, fish decide, right?
Yeah. That's definitely true. So, did you ever try any of Rain's soft lures in the
Yes,
waters
yes.
across Europe? What was your target fish?
Perch, mainly.
Mainly
Perch and some zander.
Some thunder.
But perch, it's absolutely nice.
Okay, so we have a saltwater soft lure range, which is really suitable for the perch. How about this? Any kind of perch in Japan, or you
No,
have
we
the
don't
bass?
have. In freshwater, we don't have a perch, neither pike, neither zander.
Wow.
We only have black bass, and we have some trout, but a certain river and a certain lake.
So you said you don't have thunder, you don't have pike, so that means that you don't have predator with teeth over here.
Exactly, not these fish.
Okay. So I think the word is really different. But as I see the shop size, I suppose Japanese people like using this kind of soft lures.
Yes, absolutely.
Now I understand much better just looking onto this wall why your jigs don't go more than 5 grams or 7 grams. We are going up to 20 or even more. So
exactly.
So,
But this is all matter of fish, right? Because we have to adapt to the fish. So each country has a different way of fishing and style. Of course, we can cross over.
That's true, and I think there are methods which never tried by Japanese fishermen. It should work, and vice versa. So there might be methods over here which are really workable, and European fishermen they never tried.
Like this, I'm absolutely light. I mean, these lures. Can you imagine this size? You put like 1.5 gram jig head, small hooks with a spinning tackle. You cast in just little twitch.
Yeah, I can imagine
perch.
that really works for perch.
Yeah.
I used to catch some really nice perch up to 2 kilo in the Danube Delta.
Oh yeah.
And we used to work with very small shad, but maybe this kind of soft lures.
And also, thanks to the technology nowadays, those soft lures, they're basically made by soft plastic with basically it's from gasoline. Huh?
Yeah, that's
but
right.
the smell so natural. They put the scent inside, so it's absolutely so effective for fish.
I think for the predator fishing, the biggest revolution was the introduction of the soft lure. I think it was the 70s. Or do you know more exactly when they started to produce the soft lures? As far as I know from the Americans, it was in the middle of 70s when they started. And so far there is not such another big step as a revolutionary step for predator fishing. There are new techniques.
Now I see it like such as this one. It's written the flavor, the saint flavor of fish egg.
Oh, and it goes inside the plastic.
Yeah. And also some effect of UV effect. UV effect you already probably have in your country.
Yeah, we have several UV and even glows in the dark.
Yes,
but
yes. This is grow, yeah, grows.
So that's an amazing experience. So thank you very much, Ryusuke, for
You are
hosting us in the
welcome.
Japanese shop. Thank you very
Welcome.
much.